I've met many of you. I haven't met several of you. My name is Jeff Less. I'm the managing partner of Nixon Peabody. And I was delighted when Kendall asked me to do a very brief welcome to all of you, CFA, and invite you to our offices, tell you a little bit about the firm. It's going to take a minute or two. Mainly, I've got the utmost respect for the work that you're doing, the organizations that you're bringing together. And I've had some fascinating conversations about the potential, which is amazing. It is so untapped, and there's so much that we all can do. I'm very, very excited about it. I can't help but think of some of the words that come to mind that the group is doing, that you're doing, are so in sync with what we are trying to do as a law firm. We're trying to be innovative, we're trying to be thought leaders, we're trying to make connections, we're trying to be part of our community and the global community. And this is exactly the conversation I'm hearing here tonight. Mainly what I want to do though is welcome you, follow through Kendall here, and we will talk. But I want to say what a pleasure it is to host you to our offices. We're very excited. We've only been in here a little less than 3 months. One of the biggest challenges for me as a managing partner was to lead the charge to find a new space and develop a new office. And I hope when you go upstairs and see it, you'll see some of the same words that I just used: innovation, creativity, sustainability, community, authenticity, craft. Kinds of things that we've tried to incorporate into an office because that's who we think we are. But we also really want to be and continue to be a place where our local community and global community is welcome. So nothing gives me greater pleasure than to have you here, host you, and wish you all the best with your work and a great evening tonight. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you again, just to echo the words of managing partner. Thank you very much for coming. I think this is like the 4th year that we've hosted this particular dinner, and we're very glad to have you here again tonight. This is an opportunity to really network and to meet each other and to really sort of make some establishments and make some real connections here. I actually wear 2 hats. As one, I'm a partner here at Nixon Peabody, and I work on cross-border M&A and franchising issues. One of the specialties I have is franchising in Africa, and I've talked to several of you about that. The other hat I wear is that of the executive director of an organization by the name of LLP.
Rosa doesn't need a whole lot of introduction, but I can say that Rosa is my good friend. We've been friends for, don't even talk about it, but it's a long time. I've really been the founding of CFA. I think Rosa was one of the first people I met in Washington. She's from Washington. She's from Chocolate City. We used to be Chocolate City. Used to be. But Rosa's also heavily involved in trade. She's what we call the mother of AGOA. And she was one of the people, nowadays people talk about AGOA, and you heard about the 10-year, and we're happy about that and all that, but it started somewhere. It started somewhere. Mike Williams wrote the legislation. Rosa lobbied it, really got Congress, Capitol Hill administration in place. She went on to become the U.S. Trade Representative for Africa, the first to carry them going forward. First one ever. And, but one of the people, I would never even say anything about trade if she's in the room. We're honored, really, it's an honor to welcome my good sister, Dr. Rosa Whitaker, our speaker.
I remember a time when AGOA, Debt Relief for Africa, PEPFAR, Millennium Challenge Account, they were all in the future. And they're now in the present, and they're very real. And that didn't happen. And I can say with a lot of confidence that they would not have happened without Mel Foote and the colleagues and team at Constituency for Africa. So congratulations, Mel. Thank you. And it's really something because African countries, the level of access that the government leaders have now, the fact that Africa has moved from the margins to the mainstream of the U.S. foreign policy agenda, it did not happen by accident. It was really the pioneering and visionary leadership of Mel, I remember John was involved, Stan Strader, others, Bernadette Palo who left, who really saw that we needed not only advocacy, there was always advocacy, but it was quite disparate. We needed organized advocacy and we needed a coherent policy. And without Mel, without the constituency for Africa, these things would just not be in place. And you know, I don't have to tell you about the impact that these initiatives have had. And one thing that is very clear, that a small group of people can make a big difference. Mel, I think you demonstrated that. And I remember when you talked about when the constituency for Africa was in an incubator stage. And there were the naysayers. Everybody said, it doesn't have funding, it can't last, just another. But Mel defied the odds, and it's still standing. But we should not take this progress for granted. Now more than ever, we need a stronger constituency for Africa. The issues are much more complex. And I get concerned that we're resting. You know, I was very pleased to be a part of that original team of architects of AGOA, but I'm concerned that we are now applauding the status quo. AGOA is the same today practically as it was years ago. We should have been building on it. It was never meant to be the be-all and end-all. It was something that should have been expanded every year. And the only reason it hasn't expanded is because we don't have a strong enough constituency. And if we don't have a strong enough constituency, it's because Mel is not getting enough support. So I hope that we would be here and not just congratulate Mel and the pioneers of this constituency for Africa, but that we would also recommit to providing them with the kind of support they need so that you can grow from strength to strength. Thank you all, and thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
Profound
I have a question for you. What do you think is the prospects for U.S.-Africa relations? Do you see us going in the right direction, wrong direction, standing still? Are you optimistic?
What I truly believe is that I think that the support for Africa in the United States is broad but not deep. And so what does that mean? That means Africa can now command a crowd. But when you ask people, how many members of Congress, how many people in the government, how many people are willing to expend political capital to get the tough things done, I don't see that happening. And no country in the world has ever developed through external support. So a lot of the answers that we're looking for in our policy are in Africa.
Thank you very much. Susan Shuego is acting Director General of the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa for Africa. They have been a sponsor for CFA for some years. We also have a memorandum of understanding that we're going to try to work together and do some things. But my brother and his people came up from Abuja for the Round Brown Series this year. So I want him to come forward and say a few things about DTCA. Come on up, brother. And give him a nice hand. But his heart is in the right place. He got me coming to Nigeria next month, something we've been talking about for 2 years. And I knew they were having the elections and all that, so I said, well, don't we wait till after the elections? And I'm kind of glad I did. But I'm going in October with Suleiman. So why don't you say a few things?
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first begin by saying thank you to Mel. But let me say, Mel, you know we've partnered in this, I think, for the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah. For me, this is the third time I'm attending the CFA meeting here in Washington, and it's been a great time. But it's good to say that one thing that endeared the CFA to the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa is the fact that you have a passion for Africa. Deep passion for Africa. Because we are just sharing the kind of challenges you went through. A chicken-hearted fellow would have given up long time ago. He was sharing with me that most of the people they started together, they are no more, but he is still standing strong. Mel, that's the spirit. You've been bold, you've been strong, you've been so passionate about Africa. But the truth is this, it's been said time and time again that it is only Africans that can develop Africa. Others can only partner and support us. But when it comes to the sustainable development of the African continent, nobody but Africans alone can do it. And that is why wherever we go, for us at the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, we are so passionate about the diaspora. During one of the sessions, we said the diaspora should be like a bridge between the developed countries and Africa. And that is very important for obvious reasons. The diaspora has been in this developed community for long. They know so many people, they have massive resources at their disposal. Back at home too, they know their people. They know those that have integrity, those that can do business, those that have passion for development of the continent. And therefore they can serve as bridge. Bring in all the resources in support of development of Africa. Link people from this side of the world with genuine Africans that can do business. And I think when we do that, it will be the better for Africa. Wherever you go, Africans have excelled intellectually, professionally, even in terms of skills. Wherever you go, you find Africans excelling. But Africa is in dearth of professionals, in dearth of experts that will make things happen for Africa.
Okay, our second special guest is Professor Emmanuel Ndozi. He's half asleep right now. But I still think he got a little bit left in the tank. But Professor Ndozi is the Executive Secretary for the African Capacity Building Foundation. And I'd like for him to come forward and say a few words. They're also a sponsor for the Ron Brown series. And we also have an MOU with the ACBF. So I want you to say a few words. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mel, for what I consider to be a very great partnership between the African Capacity Building Foundation and Constituency for Africa. This partnership precedes me because my predecessors were already working with you. But the history of Mel and I go quite a long ways. In those days of Leon Sullivan summits, starting from Gabon to Dakar to Zimbabwe to Abuja, and you know why I mentioned Gabon, because it was tough. I'm sure you remember that. It was tough. So we have been in this business for quite a long time, and I used to be over here for many years, and I decided to go back and see how I can make a contribution to the continent. But what is very important for me is the fact that the passion, which has been mentioned here by my brother, Mel's passion is something that is unequaled. I think I look at that, I say, well, where do you get the energy from? How do you manage to do what you do? Because the business we are in is a business that can be quite frustrating at times. And we've talked about it, everybody likes what you do, everybody feels you're good, but when it comes to supporting you, nobody wants to put their money where their mouth is. Am I right? That's usually the problem. The African Capacity Building Foundation was created almost 25 years ago. So February next year, we're going to be 25 years.
We're a little older than you.
Exactly. But while we're at it, let me congratulate CFA for the anniversary, for starting.
Well, let me congratulate you too.
Thank you. And so I hope everybody will show up to our big party. We're going to have a very big party to celebrate that. But we're going to talk more importantly about what we're doing in various areas in STEM, in building capacity for all kinds of things. So there'll be room for anybody who wants to participate and who wants to showcase what they're doing. We're going to make that possible. It's going to be a real big event.
It's a delight to see what's happening this year. This is our second year for the Teleforum. A Teleforum allows us to bridge that burden of having to travel the distance to have a meeting. We are able to connect via Skype and telephone and other VoIP devices and have a forum where we have all the African Union representatives around the world, as well as various stakeholders to talk about the issues that are presented, as mentioned by Jacques. We have STEM on the table, so we're going to look at the situation of STEM and what needs to be improved, and what the challenges are, and then we're going to look at the healthcare infrastructure.
Okay, again, I want to thank Kendall Tyre and Nixon Peabody for your generosity and your hospitality. Thank you very much, Kendall. And with that, have a good evening. Salute. Thank you very much.
And thank you for all you do, Mel.
Thank you very much.